So here we are again, back in Armada Way. Today's the 16th of November 2022, approximately a week or so after I made the first video about the threat to the much loved trees of Armada Way. Something has happened here, not a lot, but a start. We can see that some of the trees have been removed already. By and large though, these are the smaller ones, and the ones that locally I believe are referred to as Torbay palms. They may be a kind of yucca, and I know from my own experience in my house, these grow very fast. Well, the good news is that some trees are left behind, but the real interesting thing here is, why was this done at night time, in blackness? Surely cutting down trees must be more hazardous in the dark than in the light. Okay, you could say health and safety. Health and safety is no accident, but I've seen large-scale works done on trees by main roads during daylight hours, and these are virtually overgrown shrubs, and yet it was deemed necessary to do these in the dead of night. This makes me think of only one possible option. It smells fishy. We can see here works further to the south of our Armada Way. There appears to be accommodation for workmen, but that would not be to do with the felling of the trees. That would be to do with the works afterwards. We have here something that's been cut down of a more substantial, and some more here. But by and large, the trees are all here. So the situation is, last week they started off late at night to cut down the trees in blackness, when hopefully no one would see them, and then they've stopped. Why would they stop? Is it possible that the word of the public, the great unwashed, that's you and me, has been heard? I don't know, but the whole thing is very, very strange indeed. So we're now outside Specsavers, and we can see that trees are still here, which is excellent news so far. And it is in this area that what I call the Torbay palms have been removed. There's some Torbay palms left here. It makes you wonder why they didn't take these at the same time. So we're now outside Barclays, and we can see the main contractor has got his accommodation here. But again, the trees are all here. So to me, it looks as if something has happened. Now, we know there's a local group, Save Armada Way Trees, SAWT, SAWT, and they have got a very powerful Facebook page. And I would suggest that if you're interested in some degree of preservation here, you seek out that page. Luke Pollard, our local MP, has spoken up, and I think he thinks that with all the government cuts and lack of funding, why are they spending so much money on this when there's other things that need the cash? Also, Luke seems to cast a little bit of suspicion on just what evidence was brought to us as to what was wrong with the trees here, and that evidence does not seem to be in the public area to see for everyone. It all adds up a little bit fishy. We're just now near the public loos in our Armada Way, and we can see that the trees here are all there. Do we have a prime suspect? Now, we must understand the contractor is just doing as instructed. It seems that the contractor is a local firm called YGS. That's good in the sense that it's money for local business. We mustn't forget that local firms and firms everywhere today are so strapped for cash, they're looking for any income they can have. And if there's money to be made, if there's a contract on offer, why wouldn't they bid for it? So we really shouldn't look too hard at them. We need to look more at the employer, the person who placed the contract and gives the contractor orders. And that, of course, is our own beloved Plymouth City. Did they instruct the contractors to work at night to get the job done? I'm sure no freedom of information would give any inkling on that. That would be all done on a nod and a wink. Now, there are some nighttime photographs taken by the Save Armada Way Trees Facebook group that I'll post at the end of this video, and it shows that indeed the firm YGS was here, or a firm that has a logo virtually identical. Now, I've found out, and I could be in error, that YGS did the consultancy on this work, and they, with their expertise on trees, came to the conclusion that this was the wrong type of tree and the trees were diseased. They would have then made a recommendation to the city as to what to be done, and the orders would have come from them. But you have to think, is it a healthy situation for the firm that does the consultancy to then have the extra work of executing what they found without public investigation? Had all this been laid in the public demand, there would be nothing to be said about this. Had it not been done at night time, it would have passed over a lot easier. But this is strange. And as a friend of mine would say, there's something rotten in Denmark. Through my own work experience of many, many years, I know that when you employ a consultant, you employ them for an opinion. Now, that opinion is not always black and white. It can be grey. From my own experience, a consultant can give a report that is either a glass half full or a glass half empty, depending on what the customer wants it to be. And I know this from my own work experience. A consultant report can say one thing, and the employer, the customer, can use that to its own wishes and ignore the fact that it could be interpreted a different way. I personally know nothing of this, and I would think that the firm YGS here has acted in entirely good offices here, and they are getting the brunt of the issues brought on them by the city, who have used a report that possibly did say some of the trees have got disease, some of the trees are the wrong type, whatever, and because the City Council wants these trees out, they have latched onto that and made it what will be. To me, that all adds up from my experience of years and years and years of working with consultants. It's the way things are. Let's see what happens here, and let's hope no further works happen and that somehow or other these trees remain. Please check at the end of this video for some other information you may find of interest. Tie a yellow ribbon.
Did you sign the petition already?
And more ribbons. And more ribbons. To try and save the trees and to make the public who don't yet know what's happening understand all of this. So here we are today, hopefully not for the last time, under the trees of Armada Way. so we all know, these trees will all stay. Just a thought, I've just seen that these trees outside the haberdashery shop in Armada Way have got lights on them. Could it be these trees have had a postponement until after Christmas? Because no doubt these trees will form part of the Christmas lights.